They say pain makes you stronger. But rejection doesn't strengthen. It reshapes, quietly, invisibly. It doesn't strike once. It echoes in every unread message, every silence after you open your heart, every time someone looks through you like you were never there. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. You build a face that smiles, a voice that says, "I'm fine." But somewhere deep inside, you're still asking, what did I do wrong to be left behind? That's the fear of rejection, a wound that hides beneath confidence, success, and laughter, but bleeds through every attempt to be loved. The fear of rejection doesn't come from weakness. It comes from memory. From the first time you reached out for warmth and someone pulled away. Maybe it was a parent who loved you only when you performed well. Maybe it was a friend who left when you showed your true self. Or maybe it was a silence so deep it made you believe you were too much or not enough. Psychologists call it an attachment wound. When the people who were supposed to love you without reason made love conditional, and so you learned to earn it by pleasing, by performing, by pretending. You stopped expressing and started editing. Every word filtered through one haunting question. Will this make them leave? This is why rejection cuts so deep. It doesn't just mean they don't like you. It reawakens the ancient fear that you are unlovable unless you are perfect. Philosophers have written about it for centuries. The eternal conflict between authenticity and acceptance. To be yourself means risking abandonment. To be accepted often means abandoning yourself. That's the paradox every human soul must face. So, you create versions of yourself. The achiever, the comedian, the peacemaker. Each mask designed to protect you from rejection. Each mask pulling you further from who you are. You laugh when you want to cry. You agree when your soul screams no. You give love, hoping it'll convince others to stay. But here's the tragedy. The more you fear rejection, the more you reject yourself first. You silence your own needs before anyone else can. You call it independence, but it's really defense. You call it not caring, but it's really fear. Think of Robin Williams, a man who gave the world joy while battling his own silence. Or Marilyn Monroe, adored by millions, yet haunted by loneliness. Rejection creates performers. People who light up the world but can't bear to face their own shadows. It's why some chase success obsessively. Not for achievement, but for assurance. Each applause is a momentary antidote to that voice whispering, "Maybe now they'll love me." But validation is a drug that fades faster every time. And when it does, you're left with the same question echoing in the dark. Who am I if they don't approve? There comes a point when the masks grow heavy. You wake up one morning exhausted, not from life, but from pretending. You've chased love, success, and belonging, but everything you've built feels fragile, hollow, conditional. You look around and realize you're surrounded by people, yet profoundly alone. Because no one truly knows you. They only know the version you've allowed them to see. The performer's curse is this. When the applause fades, the silence becomes unbearable. You start overanalyzing every pause in a conversation. You replay moments in your mind, wondering what made them stop caring. You text less, speak less, dream less, because nothing feels safe anymore. And so you retreat into perfectionism, work, distractions, or emotional distance. You become the one who leaves first because being left feels worse. You become the one who rejects love because love feels dangerous. But beneath all of it is one unbearable truth. You're still that child waiting for someone to stay. And when no one does, you start to believe that maybe the problem was you all along. That maybe love just isn't meant for people like you. That's the breaking point, when fear turns into belief, and the wound becomes identity. But here's what the wound never told you. You were never unlovable. You were simply unseen. The people who rejected you couldn't meet you because they hadn't met themselves. Their inability to love wasn't your failure. It was their blindness. Healing doesn't come when others accept you. It begins when you stop abandoning yourself. When you look in the mirror and say, "I'm staying, even when it's hard to love me." Rejection loses its power when you realize the only approval you ever needed was your own. You learn to be alone, not as punishment, but as peace. You learn to speak without rehearsing, love without bargaining, exist without apology. And in that quiet, something beautiful happens. The real you steps forward. Unmasked, unafraid, unconditional. Because freedom isn't being accepted by everyone. It's being rejected and still knowing your worth.